a short one.
It don't gotta be long.
Okay.
So you sit in this chair, the OG chair.
Oh, okay.
Here you go.
Wow.
All right, here we go. It doesn't have to be short or long. I mean, it don't have to be long. I'm playing instrumental in the background.
Do you want me to do like motivation for the chat?
Yeah, motivation looks bad to anybody who feel lost right now, who feel like they can't. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. 3, 2, 1.
Hi guys.
On the spot, my bad.
Yeah, it's really loud. I mean, whatever you guys are going through, good or bad, I hope things get better for you. And it's like if you're in a bad place right now, a dark place, or you're really struggling, I just want to tell you guys that it does get better. You can change your life. You have all the power in the world to change your life to be whatever you want it to be. So if today wasn't the best, you can make tomorrow better. You can you have the power to mold your life into whatever you want it to be. And obviously there are good days, there are bad days, but that's how life is. It just goes from good to the bad, and I don't know, I just want to tell you that it does get better, things get better, and yeah, I believe in you. I believe in you, and I think you guys are great. I don't know, I've never done a speech
W,
before.
chat.
It's so embarrassing.
W, this ain't a fucking go.
You
Thank you, go.
rehearsed. You should have told me.
W, Sniper Wolf. Did you enjoy your time?
Yeah.
Did you like it? Be honest.
Yes, no, this was actually really great.
That's good.
I was low-key nervous to come on here.
You need to start watching more streams.
Yeah, I'll watch your stream.
Okay,
really
what do you
fun.
what do you watch on your free time? What do you just actively are outside?
I watch a lot of anime.
What anime would you recommend?
Demon Slayer. Oh my god, I just watched the Demon Slayer movie.
It's good.
Amazing, yeah. I love Demon
Chat,
Slayer.
Demon Slayer, WL.
And Jujutsu Kaisen and Bleach are my favorites right now.
I've watched Death Note, first episode. I loved it.
Death Note's amazing.
I
Only the
loved
first
it.
episode?
Never watched it again.
Why?
I don't know.
You have to find out what happens. It's
It's
one
crazy.
of the best animes of all time.
So what's your favorite anime of all time?
It was Bleach, but I think it's Jujutsu Kaisen now.
I need to watch my anime. I can't believe you.
Chat,
I have to get anime up, bro.
You do.
I really have to get my anime up. Solo leveling.
You need
Bleach.
to finish Death Note. It's so easy. It's 30, 40 episodes.
Oh, is it for real?
It's so short, yeah.
Wait, how long is it per episode? Do you know?
It's 20 minutes.
Oh!
Yeah. If you want even shorter, I think, no, actually, I'm not going to recommend a really short one.
The longest is One Piece.
Yeah, One Piece is the longest.
Have you ever watched that?
No.
Never.
I got into One Piece when I was a kid. It's been around a really long time. I used to read the comics and the.
Everybody loves One Piece.
Yeah, I know. But Bleach is also really good. Jujutsu Kaisen is insanely good.
Okay, I'm gonna watch Death Note.
Yeah.
Chat, I gotta.
Oh my god, Attack on Titan. Someone said Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is probably the best. I think one of the best animes ever made.
So is that your favorite anime of all time?
I don't know. It's all three of them are.
So what's so good about Attack on Titan?
Good. It's the story. It's insane.
What's up? It's my little brother Bukai.
It's just such a hopeless world.
You know who that is?
Oh hi.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Leah.
You're very
nice to meet
beautiful.
you. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Sniper Wolf. What you doing? We just chopping it up. Oh, what's your name?
Leah.
Leah? Yeah. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
You watch anime, Bukai? No. Oh, I do. I watch anime. Yeah.
What do you watch?
Tarzan?
Tarzan is an anime.
I mean, Tarzan? What's the nigga with the
Naruto?
You know, he run mad fast. It's even a game. You can play it.
Sonic?
Sonic, yeah, I watch Sonic.
Sonic anime?
I don't think so. No.
Sonic is anime.
I can't believe you don't watch
Do you
anime.
count Pokemon as an anime?
Yeah.
Pokemon, yeah, that's it.
Pokemon is an anime, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait, that's you?
No.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, that was me. I was in Victorious.
Yo, that's funny as
Nah,
hell.
that's all. No, my boys in the room were saying that you're really, what's it called?
What?
Very, 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 forget it.
Very what?
No, forget it.
Very what?
Yeah. I'm just talking to talk.
Very what?
I'm talking to talk.
Just say it.
Talk. Nah, I came here because I was wondering, you got a nigga, you know what I mean?
What?
You know what I mean?
I'm a man?
You have a man.
Do you have a man?
I'm dating.
I thought you said.
Okay.
I think you just saying no.
Shady. How long are they in? Do you mind asking?
I just like keep it private though.
Private? Okay,
Yeah.
you keep it PG. Okay.
Yeah, he's 16, so he's just like, he just says the first thing that comes to his head.
Oh yeah, I forget.
Yeah. So don't mind him.
Is he your brother?
Yeah, it's my brother. I'm Kai, he's Rakai.
You're crying. Oh, that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Aww.
Yeah, what?
She done paved the, she like.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
She
They
paved the
say
way.
you paved the way.
For like,
You could not pay for other niggas. You feel me?
Like she was,
Yeah.
she was a part of a YouTube time that was really big.
Like Roman Atwood time?
Yes.
Yeah. No, he was before me.
Really?
Yeah. No, I like when I was in high school.
She's an OG.
Like YouTuber, yeah.
And there's certain OGs with badges, and she's one of them.
Oh, so you're like a really OG.
Yeah.
So you're rich.
Yeah.
Get that bread.
One of them OGs.
You feel me?
KSI, to Roman Atwood,
Yeah.
to whoever. They all got that bread.
They all got that bread.
They all got that bread.
Get that bread, get that head, then leave. You feel me?
No cap.
So-
Oh my
so-
gosh.
You feel me? Oh yeah. Over here.
What?
My weed.
Oh. W Sniper Wolf. No cap. I appreciate you for coming through because you didn't have to come through. Honestly,
Aw,
and it's a
that's great.
pleasure meeting you. No cap.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
W's.
You're actually such a good vibe. You're
Thank you
actually
so
great.
much. Appreciate you.
Yes.
I'm gonna walk you out. Hold on. Let me play the song. Let me play that song real quick, boy.
That's a banger. I hope your chat appreciates that.
Jay, I like this song right here.
Yeah.
Jay, I like this song right here. Oh. W Leah. So listen. Honestly, that was for me. I ain't gonna lie, chat. Sniper Wolf is like an OG YouTuber, bro. Like genuinely, bro. Like she's like, bro. If you know, you know. That's like game. So that's like ball knowledge. That's some serious ball knowledge right there, bro. I ain't gonna lie, chat. That's some serious ball knowledge right there, bro. Genuinely. Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what time should I start? Hold on. I think somebody has just arrived to the house. I think somebody just arrived to the house. Not only that, though. Chat, not only that. Not only that, but I also have to match subs, bro. Do I do it now or do I do it when the person is here?
Oh my god, this guy dude got 2 of them. You can't be serious, bro. It's a second. You're going to jail.
And it was not.
Second
Harness the
one. Didn't work. Second one.
Hey guys, we have another update on what's going on with the David case, and this one is even more shocking. And it's leading a lot of people to wonder, where are the arrests? Where are the suspects? Somebody cannot be this sloppy and get away with this much without leaving a trail. What's the newest thing that's going to blow your mind? The police have found a second body. Again, the police have found a second body. On top of that, people are saying that it appears from the evidence that's been released by the police and with the social media sleuths that Celeste, her last days or even months, might have been something out of the movie Saw, might have been something out of Silence of the Lambs. We're going to tell you why we think that is. We're also going to tell you about the second body. This could explain why the police haven't made an arrest yet. Because for someone to be this sloppy, it could mean two things to me. One, this is your first, excuse the term, rodeo. So you didn't know what to do, you were sloppy, you didn't think things through. Or two, you are a serial murderer and you got so confident in what you were going to do. When they get caught, I'm speaking in, of course, code, because we're trying to be respectful of YouTube, okay? But serial unalivers, right? When they get caught, it's usually because they got very, very, very sloppy. Okay, so let's talk about the first thing that we actually know of, the second body found. Now, you guys, this is something that is a bit odd, all right? This is something that is actually really, really odd. So, the same day, and you might not know this, but it's something that needs to be said. The same exact day that Celeste was found in that impound lot, there was a second person actually found. That person is a woman. That person had an index finger removed. Interestingly enough, it's the same finger that David and Celeste had the tattoo written on their fingers, okay? It is known that he often did, it is not known, but it was rumored that they battled issues with jealousy, meaning David was very disrespectful and treated you the way you would treat an 11-year-old. Like literally, he should, the fact that he hasn't even been arrested for that or charges haven't been brought for that is beyond me, right? But getting back to this point, they said remains of two women were found in cars investigated as homicides. LA authorities have revealed new details, okay? This is something very interesting. They said the LA County Medical Examiner has released new details on the remains of one of the two women who were discovered in vehicles at tow yard this week. Both passings were investigated as homicides, okay? Even though law enforcement is not authorized to speak publicly about the cases. One woman's remains were discovered at about 12:20 p.m. on Monday after police responded to Hollywood Tow on Mansfield Avenue, okay? Someone smelled a foul odor coming from the front trunk of the vehicle, and detectives were sent to investigate the possible presence of human remains. That car, a Tesla with a Texas license plate, it is David's car, was towed from the Tony Bird Streets neighborhood in Hollywood Hills, according to police, okay?
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want, and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction.
They said that this deceased was found severely decomposed inside the vehicle. Severely means it went on for months, not just, it went on probably for, definitely more than 2 weeks. Usually months when they say severely decomposed. She appears to have been deceased inside the vehicle for an extended period of time before being found. We're unable to determine her age or race or ethnicity. The descendant was wearing a tube top and black leggings size small. She has wavy black hair. Jewelry includes yellow metal stud earrings and a yellow metal chain bracelet. Okay, right? The medical examiner said the woman was 5'2" and 71 pounds, and that she had a tattoo on her right index finger that said, shh. The remains were described as, and this is very graphic, a head and a torso. The owner of the vehicle has been identified as David Anthony Burke, as you guys know, right? The body of the second woman was also found after family members filed a missing police report. The family had reportedly tracked the woman to a scorched Honda Civic that was being held at a tow yard at the West Gage Avenue, okay? The car had been towed to the lot on Sunday, and the vehicle fire had been extinguished by LA City Fire. But firefighters never checked inside the car and did not see the woman's remains. Okay. Listen. Now here's the thing. Authorities do not believe that Hollywood Hills thing is somehow related, but I do find it very, very odd, and I do find it very, very coincidental that both these things were happening at the same time. You know, I find it very, very coincidental. It's a very strange coincidence, and they haven't released a lot more information of the story, or the stories are being buried by what we're talking about with Celeste. Listen, again, it's strange that she's female, and it's strange that she's rumored to be missing a finger. Again, that whole tattoo possibility popped into my mind as soon as I heard this. But yeah, they're saying they're connected to a missing persons report, and it seems the family had tracked it down to the tow yard down the GPS. Now again, they found a second body. It is unclear whether it's related to David, but do you see what I'm talking about? About the reason of, do you see what I'm talking about? About the way that there's all these coincidences happening. No arrests have been made. And this mofo is just sitting there talking about he's fully cooperating. Fully cooperating with what? Why didn't you say anything when a body was actually found in your car? Where was the shock? Where was the horror? Who's this quiet about that? Seriously, even if you didn't know it was if somebody said, yo, somebody was found in your car, wouldn't you be like, wait, what? How? When? Okay? Let's also not forget, this woman's finger was allegedly cut off. Don't forget that David talked over and over and over about his love for gore P. He almost said that he had an addiction and he had to stop himself from watching it because he loved it so much. Death was something that he romanticized, like his song Romantic Homicide. Every venue on his tour, he would bring in a casket into the hotel with him as a PR stunt. Again, the gore P, if you don't know what it is, please don't look it up. But it is horrific. But somebody that's into taking pleasure from chopping and screwing other people, yeah, that's exactly what it is. One person is cut, the other person is missing. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Honestly, you guys, listen. We're going to be following this a lot more. You guys stay tuned for part 2. The whole thing about Celeste and the way it looks like that he may have hurt her for weeks. I'm going to drop in another video. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments. Bye.
Welcome to TMZ Live. Big developments in the case involving the singer David and the girl who was found dead in the trunk of his Tesla. Notably, we broke a lot of stories yesterday, but one of the big ones was we were able to talk to a teacher who taught Celeste Rivas and had a lot to say.
Yes, he opened up to his current class. Now, this teacher says he taught Celeste a couple of years ago when she was in middle school, but once he saw all the stories that we were breaking, he decided he wanted to share his information, his what happened when Celeste was in his class with his current class. So what you're about to see is the teacher doing a little show and tell with all he knows about Celeste and David and how they met.
That's her in my classroom in front of this poster right here. She's been missing since I taught her. So when I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year. And then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car, cut into pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media.
find I'm more and more confused. Why am I like this? You told me not to wait for you, but I'm still waiting. Look away, blur the lines, pull the veil over my eyes. Fall for it every time, caught in a trap of my design. It's my fault, I can't even decide. Lending signals till they all collide. Moving pieces to fit how I like. Crossing wires, seeing signs. It's my fault, I can't even deny. Bending true cause I prefer the light. Moving pieces, bridging the divide. Crossing wires, seeing signs. Break the winds of my desire. Standing in the line of fire. You say one thing, I hear another. Let it be fate. I'd rather suffer these mental games, play off each other, false realities under the covers. Look away, blur the lines, pull the veil over my eyes. Fall for it every time, caught in a trap of my design. It's my fault, I can't even decide. Lending signals till they all collide. Moving pieces to fit how I like. Crossing wires, seeing signs. It's my fault, I can't even deny. Bending true cause I prefer the light. Moving pieces, bridging the divide. Crossing wires, seeing signs. Break the winds of my desire. Standing in the line of fire. Break the winds of my desire. Standing in the line of fire.
So he said, you know, it sounds like he was saying this, and we spoke to him, and it sounds like he was telling the class this almost as a cautionary tale about social media and going to social media. But in the process, it's interesting, he said she ran away in January, came back, and then ran away again, or at least disappeared again.
And that tracks with what we had seen as far as missing, a missing children's poster that we saw. There was one earlier in the year, and then there was the one in May of 2024. So.
And we did confirm, too, that he was, in fact, a teacher at her school at that time when she used to go to school in Lake Elsinore. He is no longer a teacher there. So when he was referring to, oh, you see this photo of her with the poster, that's the poster here. So it's not his current school. He's now teaching in a different district.
I think that's why the video went so viral, too, is it kind of came across like he was kind of like clout chasing, being like, oh look, she was in my class, but he cleared the air with us.
Well, honestly, we thought that when we saw the video,
sure.
right? This was odd that this teacher was sort of bragging about his connection,
I'm still not sure
and then we
that,
talked to him to clear it up.
I'm still not sure that that's like a good conversation to have with your science middle school class, and that's why this was originally posted online, was because the students started filming him secretly because they're like, why are we having this conversation? But he felt like he wanted to tell his students to beware scary on social media.
So there's a lot more to talk about. So we told you there was a search of the home that he appeared to have been staying in the Hollywood Hills. So we now find out that they were testing for blood. There's something called luminol, which can light up
Everyone's
a floor.
seen this on CSI.
Yeah.
That they spray it and it, allows them to see where if there are traces of blood, even if it's been cleaned up.
So they were looking, on floors. They were looking in drains to see if there were any traces of blood. We don't know what the results of the search were, but it's significant because the Tesla that contained her body in the trunk was parked nearby, and so it seems like their working theory is she might have been killed
If she were
in the house.
killed or dismembered in the house and then placed in that car and parked, a block and a half away.
Right, and we should say that the police have not named a suspect yet. The police have not named a person of interest yet, but that doesn't mean they don't have one. They got a search warrant, which means they clearly were able to show a judge that there was probable cause to believe a crime was committed. But the police have been playing this really close to the vest.
We also don't know what David's cooperation has been with cops. We were told early on he was cooperating with cops. Now it seems kind of unclear, but it is kind of interesting because
he's not talking to cops.
That's what we're hearing.
We now know, we've got it on pretty good authority, he's not talking to police.
Which you think is maybe normal what an attorney would say to their client.
Of course. They
because I looked at it as if you have nothing to hide, why would you not go to cops?
You don't look at it that way.
Once now he knows they've searched his house, he knows what they were looking for in his house. Anything he says
is incriminating.
But it is interesting though that now they have finally announced that the tour dates he was supposed to perform in San Francisco. Is today the 19th?
Yeah,
or the 18th?
tonight, and then
tomorrow. No,
LA.
it was tomorrow
Tonight,
at the Greek in LA. Those have both been canceled. So he's not going to be performing.
Scrubbed from the Grammys.
Scrubbed from the Grammy Museum, which he was also supposed to have an appearance at next week.
And
he was supposed to be dropping a deluxe album with Interscope, who we now learned that they've pulled all that. So clearly he knows he has a lot going on.
Yeah, well,
it's not a good look to be on tour.
But the interesting thing is, the label is pulling all official promotion, and he's taken out of the Grammy Museum for this appearance. But there's still a lot of publicity around his name and his songs.
His streaming.
Well, that's not the only thing that's been pulled, though. We also reported this morning that those bloody shirts, the bloody clothing that were a part of his act and a part of some of his songs and the music videos, they're not available anymore.
Well, and it's interesting. The songs are, the titles of these songs are just
Romantic Homicide,
which, by the way,
is the number one streaming song for him right now.
Right.
Coincidence, but a creepy one.
So we also got, look, a lot of people are wondering, what was the relationship between this 15-year-old girl and this 20-year-old guy? And this goes back maybe to when she was even 13 and he was 18.
Right.
So we were able to get some video of the two of them together. So we've seen photos and now we've got video of
them on a live stream where they're interacting with some of his fans. It's a short clip, and so it's hard to make out what they're talking about, but at one point he does say to the moderators of the chat that we should make sure when this is done, don't leave it up. So I don't know what was being said during the chat because we've only seen that brief clip.
Well, she's pointing at some comments. I think people were making comments. You can't tell which one she's pointing at, but clearly he
also don't know when this
he didn't want this to be clipped and go out anywhere.
So the way this works is, sometimes the LAPD will be really open about an investigation, and they'll kind of lay out what they've got. They'll hold a press conference. They have done they are holding this as close to the vest as just about any case I've ever seen.
And you're right, but it reminds me of the Brian Kohberger case, where everybody was on the police saying, you are not giving us any information, you're bungling this case, and then they came out with a very airtight case, which resulted in no trial.
The difference with Kohberger is that with Kohberger, you didn't know anything about who may have done it. In this case, and I'm not saying he did because he is not a suspect yet, as far as we know, David, but people are looking at David. So I think it's different.
In Kohberger, we didn't know anybody at all.
Anybody at all.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kamar from Atlanta. So my question would be, what else do they need to do to say, hey, he's now considered a suspect? Because we see the video, we've seen everything on social media, and then the teacher even did it. And
He's not a suspect unless they can tie him to the woman in the trunk and say he did it. That's when he
even
becomes
though
a
the
suspect.
car was registered in his name, and I'm not
That's
saying
not enough.
that doesn't
Not
mean
enough.
that he.
Somebody else could have put the body in.
Why? Why can't I make any changes without an admin approval? Huh? You should try Monday.com. I'm so.
Hey guys, we have another update on what's going on with the David case, and this one is even.
Okay, with so much information coming out, a lot of people have been asking me to do a breakdown timeline of this whole David situation, so that's exactly what we're about to do. Let's get into it. The story is gonna start off in early September when neighbors finally give a call to police that there is a car abandoned on the side of the street in Hollywood Hills, which we then found out is actually across the street from where David lives at in the home in his manager's name. When the neighbors called this in, they said the Tesla had been abandoned because it was sitting in the same spot for about 3 weeks. And then the towing company would come take that car to the tow yard where it would sit for a couple days before the towing company realized that there was a weird smell coming out of the car. And then on September 8th, they would open this trunk and find a dismembered body inside. And one very important thing is that David did not report this Tesla missing during this whole entire time, and he was on tour. And mind you, at this time, they did not know that this was Celeste in the back of this car. But they put out the details of the height of this person and that they were only weighing 72 pounds, so they believed that it was a child. Celeste's mother said that she was watching this unfold and she felt weird, and she ended up calling police and letting them know that she had a daughter who was missing for over a year, who she knew dated somebody named David, because in the report it was coming out that this person being found in a car was David's Tesla. Another big identifying thing that she told police is that Celeste had on her right index finger, which would be the same exact tattoo that David has on his finger. And they were able to confirm that it was in fact Celeste Rivas Hernandez that was in David's trunk of his Tesla. What's really weird about this whole situation is there was multiple people on Reddit that were posting about this situation before they figured out that this person in this trunk was in fact Celeste. They were talking about how David was a weirdo and a close friend's little sister from IE ran away last year, and this is who she ran away with. She was in 7th grade at the time. LAPD sweeped his place in the hills. I'm terrified that that's who's in his car. Nobody has heard from her in months. I won't release names as she's still a minor, but she's from Lake Eisenhower. Same thing with this Reddit post where they said that this guy is a PDF file from what I heard. My sister, who's now in 9th grade, told me that she was dating an 8th grader. Let's call her C. She would go on trips with him to LA. They're all in 9th grade now, and it turns out C's friends knew, and he would pay them to keep their mouth shut. C has been missing for over a month now, and no one knows her whereabouts. Definitely something strange is going on. And then later, they would reply to somebody the same day that they figured out it was Celeste, saying that she was officially missing from her parents, but she was still in contact with her friends, and they're not sure of her family life, but it seemed very broken. But they said that all of her friends lost contact with her in the early or mid part of August. Remember when I told you guys, when this Tesla was found, David did not report it missing, and he was also on on tour. So a lot of people are like, how in the world could he do this? Well, I want you to notice that this tour did not start until July 30th. Started in San Francisco, California, which is not far from LA. And then on August 2nd, he would go to Del Mar, California, which is only 2 hours away from LA. Then he had 2 days where he had nothing, and then August 5th, he had another show in Del Mar, California. And then after that time period is when he would go across the United States, which when the car was found on September 8th, he would have been somewhere in between Madison, Wisconsin, and Minneapolis, Minnesota. And this is where everybody from his Discord and his Twitch stream starts exposing all of this information about how he had a relationship with Celeste, allegedly. Mind you, all of these posts that these people are posting are old posts, like people like this saying, why don't you talk about Celeste Hernandez, posting her missing photos and more, because they are claiming that Celeste was in this Discord. And then a lot more pictures of the two of them together and even videos emerged. Yesterday, Discord and Twitch staff team wanted to clarify the situation when it came to David and Celeste. And they would confirm that the videos that were going around publicly was Celeste and David, but they said at the time they didn't know that she was underage and they didn't know she was missing, and they thought she was 18 and 19 years old. Now, with some of this information coming out, some people started to get very confused because they found out that David hung around two Celeste, weirdly enough. There was one stream that people thought was the little girl Celeste, but it in fact wasn't. It was this Celeste, Celeste Herrera. But as you can tell, the two Celestes look totally different. This Celeste is an adult and she has straight hair and all of the different things that she has seen with David, and she has been around him a lot. There are a lot of photos of the two together. But this is the child Celeste that was found in David's trunk that everybody is talking about and showing videos and pictures of. And a lot of the news sources are reporting 15-year-old Celeste, but I do want to mind you that I feel like they should be saying 14 years old because she turned 15 the day before she was found, but she was already deceased, obviously. And the information literally just keeps pouring out. Like this, they're saying this was Celeste's account when she ran away, and we would see that David would be reposting with this account. She would even show off that she had a ring with the name David tattooed on her finger on this account. He also posted by a user in his Discord who everybody thought was Celeste, that was named deleted user. And people were even posting the chats between David and deleted user talking to her, saying that they got a kid on the way. Now, we don't know if this is exactly true, and we probably won't know until the autopsy, but it's a big deal. Friends of Celeste would then start posting photos of David seen with what appears to be a child who are claiming that they were friends of Celeste, and he was paying them off not to say anything about them two having a relationship since she was underage. And then TMZ went and confirmed where the location of this picture was, and they found out that it was only 0.3 miles from Celeste's mother's home. And TMZ confirmed that that photo of David was right before Celeste would be declared missing by her mother on April 5th of 2024. And this is where she was gone for a whole year, and her mother said that she never saw her again, and then she would end up being found in the back of David's trunk. Then we would have a video of Celeste's former teacher start emerging on social media because one of his kids in class recorded him talking about the situation to them. In this video, he was claiming that he taught Celeste and that she ran away first months prior before she would go missing for over a year, which I was able to fact check this because there was another missing poster of Celeste that was also going around talking about that she was last seen on 2/14 of 2024, months before she would go missing, and then she was gone from her family for a year. This teacher claimed that the cops would actually find Celeste and bring her back, and this is where Celeste and her friends would start talking about the situation, that she was with a singer named David in LA. He also claimed the kid in this photo and some other kids at the time were talking to him about blackmailing David for being in a relationship with Celeste. And he was able to confirm that this was the kid because he saw these photos going around on social media and the news. And then he claimed just a couple months later, Celeste would then go missing once again. And this is where she was missing for that whole year and was never found by her family. And Celeste's brother came out to the NBC LA News and said that the family was aware that she had an alleged relationship with David David. He claimed that his sister vanished after going to see a movie with David in last May and she never returned. He claimed that David would frequently pick up his sister in the same Tesla Model Y in which her remains were later discovered in. This also tracks with what the mother ended up telling police, because if you remember, to help identify if it was Celeste in that trunk, because they didn't know at first, the mother told police that her daughter was dating somebody named David, and she told them that she had the word "sh" on her finger. Next thing that would happen is police would actually raid where David was living at, and they were taking things like a laptop and evidence bags, and they would also look for traces of blood throughout the home that he was staying in. And they were also looking for DNA evidence like hair, but we do not know exactly what all they found because they are being very tight-lipped about the situation. But this in turn is a big deal because they have to feel like there is some type of evidence to believe that something happened to Celeste in that home. In turn, the police are being very tight-lipped about the situation. They have named no suspects, no people involved, no anything. And Celeste's autopsy was deferred for more testing, so it could take a couple weeks until they get that back. But I hope this full timeline helped you guys on everything that is going on. I know there's a lot and people were asking for it, so here you go. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction. From tools built for one to platforms ready for many. From passion projects to enterprise-grade systems. Everything is built in and ready to launch. It's a new world of creation, where you can go as far as your imagination takes you. Can you imagine it? Let's make your dream a reality right now.
Never sue the other driver after a car accident. There's a better way to get paid a way bigger check without having to go to court or pay expensive upfront legal fees. Listen, if you've been in a car accident in the past,
and we want to continue to talk about some of the big stories coming out of Glendale when it comes to security and really prepping out right outside of State Farm Stadium. And we learned today of the situation that played out of a armed individual that was arrested and taken away from the site. So we want to go out right now, right outside, live outside of State Farm Stadium. That's where we find Fox 10 Phoenix's Nicole Cressine joining us here with a breakdown of this individual, not only armed, but also with knives as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I did actually want to share that we have a update. I mean, pretty much just within the last few minutes. I'm going to read this statement that was sent out by Turning Point USA about Joshua Runkles, the individual who you're describing who was arrested. So it does appear, this is the statement from spokesperson Josh Colvette from Turning Point USA. Quote, I want to add a note of clarity here. This individual was doing advanced security for a known guest planning to attend the memorial service tomorrow. We do not believe this person was attempting anything nefarious. However, the advance was not done in proper coordination with the TPUSA security team or U.S. Secret Service. Also important to note, this was before the site had been fully sealed and locked down. Every precaution is being taken to ensure everyone's safety. That's the end of that quote there. So that changes the story quite a bit, as you can imagine. It seems like this person, Joshua Runkles, was doing what he believed to be some advanced security. He approached an officer with DPS and was talking to that officer about the fact that he was supposed to be there and he just didn't have the right credentials, it seemed. He did have a CCW permit out of North Carolina, a concealed carry weapon permit, so he was able to have that firearm or firearms on him. So we're still kind of, developing this story, and it seems like right now this person who was arrested was indeed supposed to be here, which I guess is a really good thing to learn mourn, kind of breathe a sigh of relief that this person they don't believe was doing anything nefarious and was supposed to be there, but just a very high intensity time for everyone, right? Homeland Security has said that this has been given the highest security level. Of course, President Trump, Vice President Vance are coming, so Secret Service here doing their job. So we appreciate, of course, people, doing their due diligence to make sure that people are supposed to be there. And it sounds like this miscommunication could have escalated very easily. So we are happy to say it seems like Joshua Runkles was there doing what he said he was supposed to be doing rather than trying to get in for any violent act. But of course, it's just such a tense time right now, and people are worried about their safety at such a large event.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Nicole. And it seems like also just a big breakdown in communication where something got across there. And definitely it could have been a way different outcome if things really escalated fast, given the conditions that we're in right now. Nicole, what can you tell us right outside of the stadium there? We were told earlier that a lot of fencing was going up as well. What can you tell?
Yeah, so we're actually in the parking lot of a nearby hotel. This was about as close as we could get. There's several other members of the press that are set up around here as well. This seems to be the closest access we can get to the stadium today. I can step out of the frame and tell you that if you look a little bit closer to the stadium, you will see those road closed signs. There are several crews here who are putting up barriers. I will be honest with you, I've been out here for several Cardinals-related events, and right now, as far as the day before this event, you can see people are walking around, members of the public. So it doesn't feel that different from maybe them preparing for a game like this, but we all know that it's much different and that there is a much higher stakes. The people who are coming, we know Homeland Security, as I mentioned, has said this is going to be given the highest security detail, as it should, with the slate of speakers and the politicians who will be here. But right now, pretty normal. They are putting up those barricades, of course. They are putting up those road closure signs. But there has been a little bit of information withheld as well with that because they don't want to give away too much information about parking access or specific road closures just in case there are any extremists that do come out here. So we know that there's 63,000 people that can be in this stadium. They're expecting more than that. We've heard numbers close to 100,000 people are expected to show up for this. So it's just a big security need for everyone to follow the rules, and like you mentioned, those communication breakdowns, those could end in much bigger trouble if people don't follow specific rules and guidelines that are given for them.
Yeah, no doubt. But luckily, the new news coming within this hour paints a way different picture than what we were thinking really on the eve of this big event, thinking, oh, wow, somebody getting very close. But now it looks like a totally different story right there. And expecting all these people, like you said, there are 100,000 people that could be coming. Is there any thinking from the police or any other agencies that will there be any protesters? I know I hate to say it talking about a memorial, but since we live in this politicized world that could happen, are they thinking there will be any protesters around the stadium tomorrow?
So I think that this is a situation, as you mentioned, with just how high the tensions are and, how divisive people have been surrounding this topic. I think they're preparing for really anything. I think they're preparing for there to be some counter protests. I think they're preparing for people to come out as individuals, potentially trying to start trouble. They really want to make sure that anything that could happen is prepared for. So just any member of the general public, of course, that is able to come out, they were invited, but you aren't to bring any bags. It's not even a clear bag policy. There's no bags allowed. Any well-wishers or mourners who would want to bring flowers or other mementos are not able to do that. They really just want people coming in with, nothing on their person, because this is going to be highly scrutinized. Everyone that comes in is going to be going through, I would say, multiple levels of security checkpoints. And so to answer your question, I think they're preparing for for any and all of the above, and just really trying to tighten up any loose ends that they can and make sure that people are following the correct procedures, whether it's a member of the public, a member for us of the press, or anyone else that is there to pay their respects or to attend.
No doubt. Nicole, thanks so much for giving us the updates. They're right outside of the stadium in Glendale, State Farm Stadium. We appreciate all of the updates. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Did you know you could be entitled to a 5 or 6 figure payout if you suffered a serious injury at work, like a broken bone, torn tendon, or needed surgery? Yes.
So the David situation just keeps getting darker, and some new stuff has been circulating over the last couple of days that, I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like other people might have been in danger based on what was going on, with David and this young underage girl Celeste. Okay, it's very strange, it's very spooky, and based on a couple of messages that have been circulating, it does sound like there's a possibility that there could be another victim. Another person might have lost their life having been tangled up in this twisted love triangle. And as I said before, this just keeps getting sadder and sadder. Now, if you saw the video that I posted yesterday, I did a full 2-hour breakdown about the whole situation. I really couldn't believe what I was seeing. I did this video yesterday, all right? David hid clues about murder in every song. I didn't intend for this originally to be 2 hours, but I just kept finding facts. I kept finding info. I kept finding lyrics and music videos that were extremely alarming. And you know, you guys have kind of given your response on this. I think everybody is just in shock and disbelief over what's going on. This comments put him in J4IL. Put D4VD in J4IL. Saying, if you're hanging out with a freshly out of elementary school child as someone who's in college, university, you are suspect. It says his song lyrics read like poems from a 14-year-old emo kid who got grounded. People saying they'd never heard of him. The man was singing PDF jingles. And this is what I'm going to talk to you about today. It says her brother said in a chat that he said he was waiting till she turned 18 to marry her. I just don't understand how so many people knew and didn't question it or do anything.
Hold on, before you pay for yet another app to manage your team, let me introduce you to Connect Team, the one platform that replaces all of these. I'm talking about live scheduling, time tracking, and digital forms that help you stay in control. Use instant team updates and personal or group chats to communicate easily and effectively. So stop spreading your business across apps, whiteboards, binders, platforms. It's exhausting, it's expensive, and honestly, it's unnecessary. Join thousands of businesses that simplified employee management, cut costs in basically half, and got back the time to focus on what matters most. Start your free trial now at connectteam.com.
My name is Tracy McMullen. I'm an Associate Director here at the University of Florida in the Office of Student Financial Aid and Scholarships. Financial aid helps our students by removing barriers so that they can focus on their academic achievements and their education. We want to...
Now, it's interesting that he would say that because there's this image that's been going around on Reddit, because I don't know if this has been posted yet, but here's a screenshot from one of Celeste's stories. Now, that's her left hand and that's her ring finger. This is an engagement ring, okay? This is an engagement ring. I guess this would have allegedly been her Fitstagram account, and she's showing off a big rock. She's showing off an engagement ring with love hearts. She's out for lunch or dinner or a smoothie or something with David, right? We recognize that little spot star on his head from, you know, from the last video he'd appeared. It's in the video thumbnail. You know, it's the same image of him with the little star on his head. Are those spots like zit stickers? I'll be using those. I got the blue ones. I definitely can't be rocking the black ones now. That's a bad look. But Yeah, people are saying that this is an engagement ring, okay? So this is essentially something that's been going around. I did touch on this in the last video, but I didn't really have time. There was a whole bunch of stuff I didn't even get a chance to get to. But, you know, trigger warning, okay? I'm making this video for documentary journalistic purposes, okay? This is a story in the public interest. It's a public story, and I just need to give you guys a warning, okay? I don't intend to disrespect or put down or belittle any of the situations that I'll be covering in this video. It's a very serious topic. It's very important that I warn you that we're going to be talking about very triggering themes like SA, you know, an underage girl seemingly being groomed, and very nefarious activities. So, you know, if that's not for you, if that's something that's going to be triggering for you, don't watch the rest of this. But essentially, this post is going around that Celeste's brother speaks up and reveals that David did kill his sister. Whole chat attached. And they're saying that this is her brother. All right, this is a screenshot of something that I touched on in the last video. Celeste's brother speaks up and reveals that David did kill his sister. Okay? And this is a chat. Somebody says, dude, why does David follow you? All respect to your sister, and I hate how shitty people are being. Was it really him, Jesus, all love man? He replied, yes, it was him, because he found my account out of nowhere and followed me. This dude says, fuck. Well, he has it coming. That's wild to just randomly. Did you ever even talk to him? I met him once in person. She says, something, being with him, like, was she living with him? All of this shit's so confusing and disgusting. And he replies, I knew and I went to the police about it, but they said lack of evidence, so it was waved off. They responded, bullshit. Now that there's 1,000 people backing you up, that won't happen again. But if they had listened, he says, even if they don't do anything, they haven't even done anything towards him. And they reply, that's how it is with celebrities, just look at fucking Diddy. They don't do shit. He says, I know it effing sucks. Effing crazy that people suffer for it. How long has she been gone? And he replied, dead. And he says 2 weeks. Now, this might have been a big reveal. I don't know if this is necessarily accurate. There's been a lot of speculation over how long the body had been left in that trunk. You know, trigger warning, but the body had been cut up, wrapped in plastic, and it had been severely decomposed. That's what the police said. Now, he's saying 2 weeks. That could be information that's been revealed to the family privately to say that the body was decomposed and she would have passed away 2 weeks ago, or maybe he knows, you know, maybe she stopped replying 2 weeks ago. Maybe they last heard from her 2 weeks ago. Maybe that's an indication of she was active until 2 weeks ago, but we don't know for sure. So the person replies, says, damn, that soon? People have been saying like a month. The dude's a weirdo. His songs all have weird messages and imagery. He says, what do you think happened? Like he didn't just want her to expose him being with her? The brother replies, I don't know. He says, damn, was your sister like in love with him and choosing to stay? I'm guessing that it was all just him manipulating her. He said, yeah, she was always saying that he was waiting till she was 18 to get married and stuff like that. He replied, effing sick. What's crazy about all those people in his circle who knew and say stuff? I saw one guy did get sued by something pushing. He said, dog, what? I never knew that. My sister wouldn't say anything, ever. He says, dude, there's so much stuff in the Discord that he has. He says, what the F? There's a Discord? And he says, yeah, it was just his fan Discord and stuff. I wasn't in it, obviously, but from what I know, he was decently active in it. And some screenshots and screen recordings were posted today and yesterday after the news showed one guy saying this. And basically, this is the post from the Discord. Somebody commented that would drop the song about the missing girl, Celeste Rivas. This was all the way back in August 2024. And he says, what the F? No way, dude. Please send me more if you know. He says, I got you, bro. Let me find everything that's been posted for you. That's why I said so many people were after David now after this. They have found so much evidence to back this stuff up. The brother replies, dude, I never knew this stuff. And then this random guy says, only a small number of people were aware until today. The brother replied, I wish I could have known. I could have used this. And the dude replies, you don't have your sister added on Discord, right? Bro replies, I don't even have Discord. And then this dude says, yeah, I was just seeing because someone had a screenshot of her account, supposedly. And then this guy replies, said, this is what I got. He sends all the Discord with Celeste and a friend where she appears to admit to having relations with David, all right? And then the brother sends a bunch of pictures of Celeste saying, that's my sister, dog. That's the same girl. And he says, if it is. And he says, you think this is real? And now this is where it gets crazy and we start talking about another victim. Yes, do you think this is real? These are the chat logs, okay? And look, I don't know if it's safe to show you this in this video. I didn't show it to you in the last video, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and I'm gonna show you these messages, okay? Trigger warning. These are very dark, but I'm just gonna read these to you and I'm gonna try and redact anything super messed up, okay? But this is allegedly a set of messages between Celeste and a friend. The friend says, I'm just gonna check up on you. Celeste says, I don't want to talk to anyone. The friend says, that's it. And she says, okay, yes, of course. And the friend says, but you have to swear you're going to stay safe. Are you still going to talk to David or go back with him, because I don't want to get you into any more trouble with him? Celeste replies, I'm safe. No, I'm not. The friend says, okay, I love you. I'll text you in about a week. Don't delete Insta. Celeste replies, love you too, and won't. And now the next set of messages, trigger warning, these do appear to...
I know my mother would have been so grateful to see. And that's something I need from my mom. She would give you the clothes off her. We'll always remember. Mom?
Family proof your family. Send an SOS.
I don't even want to show this. Yeah, look, can I show this? Like, can I even talk about this? I'm not going to add any extra context. I'm just going to very quickly breeze through this, okay? The friend says, I made it, and they say it can bleed and not bleed during stuff because you probably did it when you were younger. I didn't because I wasn't ready. Someone says, you said you bead? And he says, what? And she says, Celeste says, I thought I did, but I just got my pee. I only bead with David. The person says, And then this guy says, Celeste says, with Gus, I was just drunk and did it because he got mad at me the first time for not having S with him. So that chat appears to reveal that the girl Celeste may have had relations with another person by the name of Gus, right? And then that's where we come back to this comment. Okay, so those screenshots that I just breezed through are here, and they were sent to this person who's allegedly Celeste's brother, and they say, do you think this is real? And the alleged brother replies, yes, I do. I know who Gus is. He's dead. And the person asks, what happened? And they say, he got shot up, dead. And then the comment says, you think by David or just some other stuff? Now, I think I saw an extended version of this where he seemed to reply that it was some other stuff. Yeah, so here's the last part of that message is, he said, you think it was shot by David or just some other stuff? And the guy just very ominously says, other stuff. And then that's the end of the conversation. They say, okay, now look, I'm not going to lie to you. This is all sounding a bit too suspicious. You're telling me that this Gus guy, this other guy, you've got a love triangle, these two guys are fighting over this young ting, this underage person, all right, and this guy Gus is apparently getting his thing on. They're having some kind of argument. Someone was mad because she said he was mad because I didn't want to have a with him. Twisted, absolutely twisted. Okay, so it sounds like this Gus guy is dead, all right, and we're waiting for more information to come out about this Gus guy. I don't know who this Gus guy is. I don't know what this is all about. But in the midst of that, we're beginning to see more and more little tidbits of evidence come out that are just even more and more damning. So another post has been going around on the David subreddit saying David was wearing her bracelets. That's a picture of him with some bracelets on, and people are saying it's the same bracelets that Celeste had on in this picture. Now, I personally, I'm finding it hard to see that, but it kind of does look like the pink, the little pink joint that's going on here. I don't know if it's exactly the same one, but it does look very similar. The kind of hues look a bit similar. Now, one thing that I find a little bit strange, and I've been trying to find some evidence for this, but I seem to remember when the news first broke, I thought that I'd seen a couple of articles basically saying that another body was found. You know, if we're talking about this alleged person called Gus that was killed, that sounds like a man. Sounds like a man's name, right? but I did remember this, and I haven't been able to find anybody else talking about this, and maybe there's no connection, but I did see at the time articles going around that suggested 2 women were found in cars being investigated as homicides. Now, it seemed, I don't know whether this was 2 unrelated situations, or whether it's the same situation, or whether maybe they initially thought there were 2 bodies because of the way that, you know, sadly the bodies were.
Someone I can be totally open with, even if it means we remain perfect strangers. You know our rules. No names, no photos, just cars. Sorry.
Look, I get it. I have no room to judge. The amount of men I've met, I didn't see their faces, I didn't know their names. They might as well have been in the witness protection program.
Is that your cyber boyfriend? So imagine you could see him, wow, with your eyes. Incredible. Reach out and touch him. Stop it.
What is going on? I know he loves classic cars and he hates his corporate job, and why are you laughing?
Because he sounds like an 80-year-old with a subscription to Popular Mechanics.
Seems our Oakland location is directly across the street from O'Malley's.
It's a one-off mom-and-pop shop.
And I'm sure they have uncompetitive pricing.
Closer? Little hand-to-hand combat.
Here, Miller boy. I bet you thought you could just waltz in here and take over O'Malley's because a bunch of girls don't know the first thing about fixing cars, am I right?
That's not fair.
With your big executive job and your money, in my professional opinion, if you were a car, totaled. What is wrong with men?
We won't be bullied by a heartless corporation.
Now let's bow our head for prayer. Please give this family wisdom so that we may undermine and destroy our competition.
You're going on a date. It's not a date. Charlie, it's definitely a date. It's a date. Oh my God, it's a date. Yeah.
I'm like nervous. I don't even know what this girl looks like. What are we looking for?
A wrench.
A wrench keychain. It should be right there on the table. Do you know what a wrench is?
I Googled it. I do know now.
Separated, if that makes sense. But it says the LA County Medical Examiner has released new details on the remains of one of 2 women who were discovered in vehicles at 2 tow yards this week. Both deaths are investigated as homicides. One woman's remains were discovered Monday when police responded to the Hollywood tow on Mansfield Avenue. Someone smelled a foul odor coming from the front trunk of the vehicle, and detectives investigated possible human remains. You know, we learned about that car. The descendant was found severely decomposed inside a vehicle. She appears to have been deceased inside the vehicle for an extended period of time before being found. We were unable at the time to examine the age or ethnicity. Initially, the remains were described as a head and torso. The owner of the vehicle was identified as David. And here's what's interesting, right? The body of a second woman was found Tuesday in South Los Angeles after family members filed a missing persons report. The family had tracked a woman to a scorched Honda Civic that was being held on a tow yard at Westgate Avenue. The tow yard operator called LAPD and said family members wanted to look at the car. Investigators rushed to the scene and found the woman's partially burned body in the trunk. The car had been towed onto the lot Sunday from the 6800 block of South Flower Street. The vehicle had been extinguished by LA City Fire, but firefighters never checked in the car and didn't see the woman's remains. So, look, it's not necessary that these 2 are connected. I think this could have been a coincidence. When the first reporting came out and they were talking about 2 bodies, I wasn't sure if it was 2 bodies in the same car, 2 bodies in different car, maybe 2 cars towed from the same spot. It looks like these are 2 separate things. But it's just so bizarre, and I think the thing about this Gus guy, when we find out more about him, I think that's going to be very revealing. So there's still been a lot of discussion about the potential motive, and some people have been saying that there's